who lived in a big park, Dallas. And she lived there with her mean old neck stutter. And her two sissy ugglers. I'm dying up here. And they made Cinderella do all the wordy-dirk. You got it? Okay. While they sat around cheating auklets and magging Rita-zines. And one day while Cinderella was in the kitchen, flopping the moor, oh boy. The two sissy ugglers came in and said, guess what? The Pransome Hints is throwing a Bancy Fall. And we're invited. It's too bad you can't go. So Cinderella went back in the kitchen with ears in her ties. And she was just about to chickasee a frickin' when suddenly there was a winding flash of flight. And standing beside her was a beautiful berry. And Cinderella said, who are you and what do you want? And the beautiful berry said, oh, I'm your berry fudgudder. So Cinderella said, may I go to the ball? So the fairy waved her magic wand, and instantly Cinderella was transformed into a dancing hootie. Well, she had a long white gaping sound and a necklace of poopies and whirls. And on her shirt were two tiny fast glippers. Now the fairy said, you may go, but you must promise to be mown by midnight. And so she was off, and soon she cast the cable. That came to the castle. So she jumped out, and the first poo people she ran into were the two sissy ugglers. But she was so beautiful, they didn't even cinderize Reckick-Milla. So they introduced her to the Pransome Hints. He says, may I dab this chance? You're so beautiful, you remind me of Beeping Slooty. He was just about to ask for her mare in handage when suddenly the struck started to strike 12. So Cinderella banned from the roll, but as she did, one of the sass flippers struck from her soot. Now the Pransome Hints picked it up and he says, oh, now all I have to do is find the woman who said the slipper sets, and I'll know with whom I've lolled and fubbed. So the next day he went from house to house. You can't turn that around. Soon he came to the Sin, where House Torella lived, knocked on the door, and who should come but the two sissy ugglers. He says, I'm looking for the woman who said the slipper sets. Well, of course, their beat were too fig. Then it was Cinderella's turn, and guess what? The clipper pitted perfectly. They were married and lived happily ever after. And that's the end of the story of Cinderella. But you see, there's a moral to this story. If you ever go to a Bancy Fall and meet a Pransome Hints, don't forget to slop your dripper.
You believe that? How does he do that?
He's crazy, isn't he? He is crazy. You know. I got some notes passed on too.
Hey, do you want to hear the Beetle Fridge?
Yeah, he's crazy. I tell you. You know, I'll never forget. You know, I think it was in Chicago or someplace way back in the '70s. There, one night, you know, back in the '70s, it was crazy. There was a lot of screaming, and you know, and I remember one night there were girls banging on our door, you know, all night. I mean, like, it was at 4 o'clock in the morning. I remember Wayne, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. He wouldn't let them out, but... No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I got some notes passed to me backstage.
Hey, folks, you know when a bug hits your windshield? You know what the last thing to go through the bug's mind is? His hiney.